What's going on, everyone? I am just a typical, average American here today to react to a very disturbing news story, which basically says here that the United States government is demanding private information about an anonymous Canadian man who, he just so happens to be an outspoken critic of the Trump administration. So that's an interesting coincidence. And, naturally, I can't help but wonder why? Why do they need this guy's information? To do what? You know what I mean? So if this is true, this is beyond disturbing. It's kind of scary. So what? Now you can't even criticize the US government without feeling like they're going to look you up or like show up at your house or something. So yeah, and on top of all that, it's funny because the United States government completely deserves a ton of criticism. So, yeah, you really can't make this up. So today, I really want to check this out and learn about some more of the details of this story and try to figure out what exactly is going on here. Because this is not a good direction for the United States to be heading in. This sounds very, very, very dark. So, I don't know if this is going to be able to explain some rationale for all this or if this is as disturbing as it seems to me. So, let's see.
The Canadian, identified only as John Doe in court documents, wants to remain anonymous. Using a pseudonym online, he regularly posts critical commentary about Donald Trump. He says that's why Homeland Security demanded Google turn over his identity.
What? What? They did what? Oh my God. How is this not bigger news? This is the first time I'm hearing about this. At least here in the United States. I haven't heard anything about this. I had to go out of my way to look this up. That is unbelievable. That's anti-American. It's un-American what they're doing. That stands against America's values, trying to intimidate or silence people for giving their opinion about stuff. I was taught growing up here in the United States that basically one of our core values is that you are allowed to express yourself, that you're allowed to say things and give your opinion. As long as it's done in a peaceful manner, you're allowed to say stuff and nobody can stop you or intimidate you and that just feels like that's exactly what's going on here. So the United States government and the Department of Homeland Security specifically was ordered to demand from Google, who, if you use any Google applications or Google products, they have a ton of your personal information. So the government is demanding from Google all the information they have about this Canadian individual. That can't even be legal. That's something that the FBI would do if they're hunting down a terrorist or something. This is just some guy who's posting criticisms about the US government online. He reminds me of somebody, actually. So, I think this is as insane as I had feared. Wow.
According to a federal lawsuit, he landed on the U.S. government's radar for slamming Trump's immigration policies on social media after ICE agents shot and killed 2 American citizens in Minneapolis last January.
Okay, for one thing, I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this situation that happened not that long ago. But very sadly, this is another example of so much madness happening here in the United States that this insane tragedy has been kind of swept under the rug. It's kind of old news in a sick way. The death of these two American citizens at the hands of ICE or government, people who work for the government carrying guns in the street, literally murdered them in the road. Like, that actually happened. It's insane, and it deserves all of the criticism in the world. Actually, I'm glad that they're bringing this up because this needs to be talked about more. It's been swept under the rug a little bit here in the U.S. because of a lot of stuff that's happened. And now we're at war with Iran, and there's always the next thing. But this needs to be remembered. So I actually personally really agree with this Canadian individual's criticism of this event. This deserves it. So you're telling me that the Trump administration targeted this individual specifically for just going online and critiquing one of the most despicable acts by our government, like, in recent history. That's what he's in trouble for. I mean, this is so incredibly dark. Like, I have to, as an American, we are going down such a dangerous, dark path. And I feel like more Americans need to be aware of stuff just like this. Like, literally individuals who are, frankly, doing us a favor by critiquing us and, giving feedback and criticism of how we're doing things. That's valuable, for one thing. Take it or leave it. But the idea that that's who we're silencing, or at the very least, this is blatantly intimidation. At worst, it really sounds like the U.S. government is trying to figure out who he is, which, why would you need to know that other than you want to, know where he is or everything about them, and then do what? From, there's only so many things. So this is quite disturbing.
She was an agitator, a very high-level agitator.
The Canadian Trump critics' posts received more than 100,000 views. A month later, court documents allege Homeland Security summoned Google to hand over vast swaths of information about his life.
No way. Well, I'm so glad that they're doing a news report over this whole thing. This needs to be known. This is insane. I didn't know we were doing this. This is insane. Wow. Possibly to a whole nother level. Because we're not saying something. Because the U.S. and Trump, we've done a lot of insane things very recently. But silencing rhetoric, silencing voices, that particularly I find to be very anti-American, what we're doing there. So what else does that show but the decline of America and our own values that we're not even upholding? And also this poor guy's personal safety could be at risk, which is also a tragedy. They ordered Google to give over this personal information about somebody who's not even in the United States. Is any of this legal? Can they do that?
The American Civil Liberties Union is suing the Trump administration on the Canadians' behalf.
Good.
Never in a million years did I think the U.S. government would try to find out who I am,
Yes.
where I live, where I go, and what I read online.
Yes.
You don't have to be from America to know that is un-American.
Yes! I don't know everything. I don't know anything about this guy, actually. But based on this statement, I like this. Exactly. You would never... Oh my God. This is so bad. And it's un-American. Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
He said. Earlier this year, the New York Times reported social media platforms had received hundreds of similar demands during Trump's second term in office. At the time, Homeland Security defended its actions, saying it has the authority to investigate threats and impediments to its agents.
See, that's the slippery slope. That's the danger. That's so, it's disgusting. Like saying, oh, these people online are criticizing how we do things. They're criticizing how we shoot people in the head when they protest in the streets. We need to stop. This is dangerous. This is dangerous talk. This is bad speak. We cannot be criticizing our murderers masquerading as government officials, literally killed 2 American citizens. We can't be having people putting them in danger. We're too busy being the danger. Like, you know, it's like a parody. This should be a parody but it's real life. Wow. I guess my only question now is, did Google give up any information? Like, can the United States really coerce a corporation into giving up that information? Probably, if they tried hard enough. I'm sure they could do whatever, which is terrifying. But did Google? Surely not. There has to be some justice in this world, right? Surely not. But yeah, this is unbelievable.
Saying it has the authority to investigate threats and impediments to its agents.
Right. Again, using that as an excuse to silence people. Like, oh, they criticized us, the government, so that's putting us in danger, so they should be silenced. Like, what are you talking about?
But the ACLU says the U.S. government is exceeding its legal power by trying to chill dissent at home and now abroad.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's not even just in the U.S. We think that we can do this to just anybody in the world, including Canada. Unbelievable.
Taria Esri, Global News, Montreal.
Is that it? So they don't... Did Google give up the info? I don't think so. It sounds like they're just submitting a complaint or a lawsuit against the action that the U.S. Just the fact that the U.S. government tried to do this is insane, and I'm glad they're fighting against it. So disturbing. Like I didn't know. I feel like more Americans need to know this. This is actually insane. This is actually, like, if we look back in like many years from now and we're like, why did America fail? Like, where did we go? It's like, there's a lot of things, but this will be just another stepping stone where it was like, you know, in 2026, when we started silencing all the critics of the Trump administration, that was pretty bad. So this was quite depressing, quite bad, but as I like to say, you know, as an American, you got to be aware of the madness that is going on right now in our own country. You can't pretend like it's not happening. It's happening. And because that's the only chance we have to fight against it. So yeah, anyway, jeez. If you enjoyed this, I didn't. But if you did, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on this whole crazy situation. U.S. government going after Canadians for giving their opinion that the U.S. government is dumb. Wouldn't have thought I'd see that, but I don't know why. We've seen everything at this point, so geez. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.